Hello, 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 blah blah blah, oui, je parle.
Hi guys, I'm heleneclabecq and I cover the journey of people who challenge the status quo. Today I'm sharing with you an exclusive interview of the Russian tattoo artist Konstantin Noskos that I shot a few years ago. I flew to London to discover who is the mysterious man hiding behind the needle and discuss the meaning of tattoo as a symbol of death and transformation. Let's go. Konstantin, you are originally Russian. Now you live in Los Angeles.
That's correct.
And you're renowned for your tattoos over there. You tattoo a bunch of celebrities as well. What made you decide to move to Los Angeles and start tattooing? How did that
happen? Okay, both mysteries. This was never a plan. So there was never a plan of immigrating to United States or be a tattoo artist. I won the lottery tickets. There was an opportunity at the right time, and I went for it and worked hard and built on it. At the time I was in Russia, I think it was a bit of a confusion time for my generation because of the end of the Soviet Union. The very brand new Russia was born. It was a very foggy future. We were born in a country with iron curtains, so to speak, right? So it was a closed country. We all wanted to travel, because it was like a forbidden, and we heard about the West as an open, free world. At the same time, opportunities open. The waters became transparent. We were able to travel overseas. Artist was born in Paris, and I know that. Could not study in Paris because I had issues with visa. But I already was there, and for a semester I had nothing to do but explore. And I think that time I started learning how to see things. I always entertain myself visually. I just analyze. I like to see the shadows, the way they move, and people watch.
And also it was different because it was a new culture, a new country, so people were behaving differently. Looking differently,
exactly.
Talking differently.
Yeah. I also started drawing. I started to record my thoughts. I also admire French Impressionists and Russian Impressionists, and I like to paint like that. So I knew I was in that country where it was born. I thought, okay, I can solve this. I can be like that.
You said a few times that you were soaking things in or taking things in. Do you feel like every time you move, the culture becomes a part of you as well? Like you transform as a person?
Of course, I always thought the culture is like a living form. I mean, it has influence on you no matter what. So like once you're in a different country or in that culture border, you under influence no matter.
Do you feel like you redefine yourself every time you go to a new country? Like you find parts of yourself that you didn't know about? Like as you explore the country, you also explore yourself and who you are?
I think we all grow from traveling. I think it broadens you. It's almost map making. You travel, and those dark spots on the map in your mind, they become illuminated. So now that knowledge is just expanding, even a little bit. So, and whether you want it or not, you become so much richer with your inner world. I remember younger, I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to box, and none of those things I could do. My life is a constant flow. there's no thinking about it. It's just things are happening beyond my control. I'm just accepting this.
Interesting.
There's no decision to. It is a decision. It's a constant decision to make every day, but it is a constant intuitive flow. You know.
Because all the things that you mentioned, you manifested. Those things you wanted to experience. But you're saying that you haven't willingly made them happen, make it happen to you somehow.
Yes. Well, you have to put an effort into it, but you know, I was just following, I think, intuition, or yeah, I was just following my intuition.
How come didn't you feel stuck or limited at the time where those things weren't possible for you in your country? Where did the drive come from to actually step outside of those boundaries?
Again, I was very lucky. I had no other choice. So, like, I was, you know, I was not in the comfort. And my only comfort was probably to draw, or I had no choice. If I had to work hard, otherwise I would be on the street. I don't know. Does it make sense? I had no choice. I had to do it. For example, the strongest one is moving to America. Yes, it was it's a decision. I'm gonna give up all the comfort, but at the same time, comfort of what? Oh, maybe a known part of life, or family comfort. So regular things, and yes, okay, there will be a fine future, but I didn't even. It was like almost deadly to me. It was like I couldn't believe that this would. I'm gonna live there, and once I crossed the ocean, I knew there was no coming back.
So it was very symbolic for you.
Exactly. And then finding myself on the other side, I had no choice but to start then working on my skill and becoming better. Otherwise, if I wanted better things from my life or accomplish other goals. Does it make sense?
Yeah. How did you make the difference between what you wanted deep inside in your heart from your life and the societal construct of, like you said, having a family, getting a house, staying in your hometown, getting a 9-to-5 job, or anything that people were doing over there at the time?
It didn't feel like it was me. You know, I have no interest. I had no interest in that period, and so we all can achieve anything. You just have to focus on your point of interest. So I had no interest in, I guess, a material point of it, or being part of something. I felt always like an outsider. I'm not doing this intentionally.
Yeah.
I think I draw people towards myself, but those are not my intentions, and that's also my problem, because I want to run, and I'm an introvert. I don't like people, so it's that constant running away. And definition of an artist is different for me than people pursue. It's not just some person who can draw or paint. Artist is the creative journey.
And you express it in many different ways as well. Your creative, vibe. So you paint, you draw, you tattoo, which is drawing somehow.
And so much more.
And then you also love to fly and to box. is there a common thread between all those activities that you do?
I remember as a kid, I wanted to be a painter. I wanted to draw. Tattooing happened accidentally. But as soon as I tried tattoo, I got instantly obsessed with it. And the very first tattoo was naturally good. It didn't go bad. Everything went like smooth. All the struggles and learning curves were later, but everything was smooth. I knew this is me right away. It just kind of like, it was an instant.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like the state of awe when everything feels right. You forget about the rest.
It wasn't. It was not even a thought. It just happened. And then I think having and this is for the first time I became really obsessed. So this and that obsession, I think, is that drive. And then I realized French Impressionism doesn't work in tattooing. So in order to better one skill, I had to push another. So
how would you define your style?
I always think tattooing is a collaboration between two people. My clients, you use me as a tool to express yourself. So I don't think it's. I know you come to me because you know you like my skill.
Yeah.
But I'm just a medium. I step back and I always give all the credit to my clients. Life journey, right? I know you had this life journey. What I'm trying to say, there was never a plan. Everything was intuitive. You know, it wasn't like me deciding, okay, I'm going to be an artist. I guess this was already somehow preset. I was just flowing intuitively through it. I never dreamt about moving to the United States. These things happened. You know, same with tattooing. I knew I was good back then. Yeah. And I did that, and I did my tattoo, and I was like, okay, this is good, but I know I'm the best. What do you mean? So I think it's always the inner conversation. So it's a competition, inner competition that's happening. Right. That's another drive.
So would you say that you're following your destiny and that it's written beforehand in a way? Or do you think you have the power of deciding where to go next?
Man, those are very deep questions.
I told you.
Following my destiny. Well, I hope it's a good one. As I become more, I don't know about the destiny. I don't know if I believe in all these preset things. I'm becoming more pragmatic, and as I'm growing older, I'm just, there's no goal but be good at what I do, because I know it's then I'm gonna have a good day. Yeah. And then so I'm more living, enjoying, and then having so much struggle before, and but yet now when I think I'm doing well and much better, I still have that every day make count, as they say, and do the best. So, and then if I live a day by day, what's how can I believe in my destiny? Because I don't know what's tomorrow.
That's true. The fact that you have manifested the dreams that you had when you were younger, do you feel like it brought you more happiness or self-confidence, or it has nothing to do with that?
I think self-confidence, and that came maybe later, and that's probably we all become self-confidence, happiness. I'm not happy, and then that's always an issue. I'm never happy. I'm happy right now. I think it's an entertainment in a way. So we're having fun having this conversation on what's happening right now.
Yeah.
But as a happy person, I don't think so. I think I smile a little bit more, but more of a sad because there is more darkness and inside.
And that's the thing too, because you mention, on your website, on your social media, join the darkness. So you embrace the darkness. What is darkness to you?
Well, I think darkness is people think it's a negative thing. Darkness is death. So we think we're things that we don't see. Darkness is something negative, so it's death, right? So not necessarily I'm embracing death, but I'm like surrendering to a thought of that's just a part of what it is, and then and an artist to be an artist of who I am right now, I had to die several times. People see you see my progression differently than how I see it. So that's why it looks like, okay, this person had achieved so much. Does it make sense?
Yeah, of course.
He must be feeling really good about it. None of that.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about it at all. I'm lucky that I have this opportunity and I'm doing things, but that I never, it's occurred to me that I'm at some kind of a height.
Right.
But then when flying, it's different thing. Then
you feel this sensation that you also feel when you tattoo someone, this high.
No, it's tattooing someone. It's always connecting with that person. It's more my interest was diving in their inner world and pulling things out of them. So that's always with, and because I've had to tattoo bad people as well, or people maybe not. There's no such thing as bad people, but difficult, because I was young and I didn't know. I dove too much into their inner world and I learned things that I wish I never did.
Okay.
So that was a heavy burden until I learned how to not take it close to my heart.
So when you tattoo people, they open up to you and tell you stories.
Correct.
And sometimes it's dark, deep stories, saddening.
Correct, yeah. So,
and it affects you.
And it was until at some point I had to learn how to not to take it personal.
But then it also shows that you can learn from anyone. You can learn from their journeys, right? Even if they haven't always made the right choices.
Correct. Correct. But it was yes. And then came flying, and then flying was raising above. So it's it was such a high contrast because I consider tattooing is death to me. I'm underground, and tattooing is all death. And if you think it was like death, it could be just a new journey. Like today, you said you started a new journey. Something's dead, and here we move on. So it's
not death; it's more of a rebirth.
Rebirth. For you, it's a rebirth. But you. I think more you look into why tattooing and what it is. I'm sorry, I have to repeat this word again, but it is about death. There's no other reason. you know. And so flying was raising above that, and that was a different world. So it was just an underworld, and then, and so I wasn't thinking about it. There was no people. It was just, it wasn't even, it was different me, because when you fly, you're in a different zone. So you just rise above all of that. So that's how I kind of looked at it, and it brought some kind of balance. I was able to exist because this was so heavy. I had to run away.
And it also probably allows you to be in this meditative space, and you can find yourself again. You can be by yourself, alone in nature, and reflect around all your experiences too.
I think I spend too much time meditating. Every time I tattoo, or draw, or fly, or I'm generally by myself. Yeah, I think I'm more in that state than I'm not.
What would you say has been your biggest lesson through life so far?
Biggest lesson through life. I think I would try to inspire someone. And if we're trying to inspire someone, I think I'd say anything is possible. Because all you have to do, you have to pick and choose what do you want to do, what do you want to be, and just stick to it. I experienced why? Because I could not draw. And it took me a lot of time. I still cannot, but I got better. So it just takes time and patience. So I think anything is possible. It is true. So just don't think because I cannot do it today or tomorrow in 5 years, it doesn't mean that you cannot do that in 10.
Right.
So everything will take time.
And do you have a personal slogan or mantra that keeps you going?
Join the dark side, man. Why no? You want me to say that?
No, you have yours.
Personal slogan. I always live by integrity. So integrity, and not only towards others, but integrity towards yourself. Always be true to yourself.
Yeah.
If you want something, don't hide it. If you are something, don't hide it. Don't live in this lie, because then this lie will eat you up, unfortunately. And then I think maybe regrets will. I think if you're trying to mask things, they end up being in the wrong place. And if you don't stop, then you start making series of bad decisions and wrong turns.
What has been the biggest lie that you've awakened to?
Lie?
In society?
In society? Man. Society has the finest tools to manipulate people, so man. So, instead of believing someone, and I know it's easy to see things because we automatically see things and we believe them on TV or on social media, but don't believe that. Go experience it yourself.
Right. See
it with your eyes, feel it in person. So, does it make sense?
And what would you say you want to disrupt with your art and your creations? So through tattooing, for example, what do you want to pull out of people? How do you want to empower them?
I think a lot of times they empower them. I just want to help them. I want to. I understand they always come to me in a sensitive period of their time, so I just want to encourage them. It's fine. everything's gonna be. It's hard right now, but it's gonna be better.
Right.
And also kind of help them, give them good experience, give them a little bit of a charge, so they can just.
So what do tattoos represent to you? Is it like a way to feel stronger, a way to remind ourselves or that struggles or actually lessons, for example?
Yes, and many things. They're little milestones. They're little lessons we learn. We manifest them so much that they become physical, because not enough thinking in our head. They become little scars, reminders, and we move on to something new.
And we live with them.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
And my last question is, how would you define success?
Yeah, I think success, well, to me right now, is more being able to choose my moments or people I work with, or so I can learn from my clients or people who I meet with. Success. That's it.
And surrender to whatever happens.
100%.